There's something very, very important to announce, which is that tonight is a very, very special day. What is very special about tonight? In the Jewish calendar, we begin the days at the nighttime, Vayi Erev, Vayi Voiker, and there was night, and there was day, Yom Echad, one day. So we begin the nights, we begin the days by nighttime. Shabbos begins at night. The day begins at night. So what's starting tonight? An exceptionally special day. We mentioned it exactly 364 days ago at this time, which is 365 days. At this point, thank you very much. Tonight is 100 days before Rosh Hashanah. Chaf Sivan is a day that the Sfarim speak about, the holy books, as being a major day of getting ready for Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, already starting tonight. Chaf Sivan, 100 days until Rosh Hashanah. Anybody who was with us this morning for Rabbi Nachman understands the powers of Rosh Hashanah. And really every single Jew in all of humanity really understand that Rosh Hashanah is an extremely powerful day, the beginning of the new year. And just like a seed, the DNA of that seed and the beginning of that seed is so important that that seed be pure and the DNA be intact and pure, because everything that will come afterwards, the entire growth of the mighty oak tree, will all be dependent on the DNA of the seed. If the seed of the child is good, then the child will have the ability only that which the DNA has, and therefore the entire DNA of the year is beginning by Rosh Hashanah. But in order to get ready for that DNA, in order to produce the appropriate DNA that we want to have, which will unwind into the child, which will be the fruit, which will be the year to come, we spend 100 days getting ready for that. And then the process of growing and the birthing of that year happens through Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. That's why, by the way, we take on a lot of chumras between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. Chumras mean we're like extra careful during those 10 days, the 10 days of tshuva, right? Everybody knows between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, it's like kind of big times. Like a lot of Avinu Malkeinu going on. There's like a lot more shul stuff happening. And people even try to be more stringent about things that otherwise they wouldn't do. Like certain kosher things that even the rest of the year if they would do, they're more careful during those 10 days. So the question is, why would you do that? Come on, now you know, God, I'm going to be a little bit more lenient afterwards. What's the answer? Because when you're creating the DNA of the seed, you want that DNA to be as good as possible. Even if you do fall back into something later, the DNA is created. And now the rest of the year will be coming out of that consciousness. And that DNA is really written on Rosh Hashanah. The DNA is sealed on Yom Kippur. But the DNA is only given over on Hoshana Rabbah. And the DNA is only fully activated on Zois Chanukah, the last day of Chanukah. And if you really, really look into the deeper sources, there's a final shift you could make on Purim. But then it's done. And then that's the child that you'll have. And then begins the purity of Pesach, which is really just to get you to Kabbalas Torah, to get you to the vision of yourself at Mount Sinai, that Mount Sinai vision of who you are. And that Mount Sinai vision is the person now that you're going to take, focus in on during these summer months, where the energies get very, very intensified. Summer months are very, very powerful, intense energies. You're going to notice in the next number of months more ideas, more opportunities, more people trying to pull you in different directions than the entire year combined. And you have to make sure to be very aware of people trying to pull you in a billion directions, and hold on to the Mount Sinai vision of yourself. Take that vision into the month of Elul, and then that month lock into that vision to be able to have the Rosh Hashanah and the Yom Kippur and the new you being created. Okay? You see that every single year we're just going deeper and spiralizing deeper into the vision of yourself and what you want to see for humanity. And now is the moment of the 100-day mark of absolute preparation going towards the new vision of the creation of the new seed. So a lot of people prepare for Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur 45 days before Rosh Hashanah. Do you know what 45 days before Rosh Hashanah is? What date on the Hebrew calendar? Tu B'Av. Tu B'Av. They call, the romance day of the year, where all the boys and the girls get together to find their shidduchim. So 45 is the amount of days. By the way, Chamisha Asur B'Av, the 15th day of the month of Av. Do you know what the numerical value is? Ksiva v'chsima toiva. That you should be signed and sealed for a good year. So how do you get signed and sealed for a good year? You prepare 45 days before. But we're now talking about preparing 100 days before Rosh Hashanah. 100 days before Rosh Hashanah. So it's based on a Gemara in Menachos, that the Torah says, Ma Hashem Elokecha shoel mimach. What does God ask from you? The Torah says, what does God ask from you? And the Torah answers, you know what he asks? To have awe of God. And to love God and a few other things. To have awe of God. So, ma, what's the gematria of the word ma? 45. What does God ask from you? He asks from you 45. He asks from you to prepare 45 days before Rosh Hashanah to get ready that the formation of the new DNA of the child that you're going to create, the fruit that you're going to generate, will be good and will be pure. And will give you a sign and sealing in the book of life.
How do you prepare?
Pardon?
How do you prepare?
So we'll get there. So I thought that's 45. Why are we doing 100? So the Gemara says a fascinating thing. The Gemara says, in the times of King David, there was a plague. There was a plague. And that plague was killing 100 people per day. That's horrible. And King David went out, and he saw that people were dying. And King David, who is the perfect Jew that we love, he's our hero. We love King David. King David is our king. King David is the soul of Mashiach. And Mashiach will be a reincarnation of the soul of King David. He'll have sparks of Moshe Rabbeinu. He'll have his own sparks. And King David went out and through his tremendous love for Klal Yisrael, he saw that there was a plague, and he understood that there was something going on that wasn't right. Talk about how do we fix the plague, how do we fix the problem, how do we prepare? So King David said, first of all, look at the way that the leaders of the Jewish people always understood how do we solve problems. Well, let's look at the Torah. What does the Torah have to say? The Torah is God's book of guidance. The Torah is not something that was written. It's something that is being written right now. It was written and given to Moshe Rabbeinu, but it's alive. Like we always say from the Lubavitcher Rebbe, that they asked the Lubavitcher Rebbe, does he read the news? He says, of course I do. I read the weekly Parsha. Because the news is coming out of the weekly Parsha. You want to see what's going on in the world, just open up the Parsha. You will see what is going on. You will see the news. Reality is being written out of the weekly Parsha. Like I heard a beautiful vort from Rav Yoyer, that he said, you know what Chassidus teaches you? Chassidus teaches you and takes you from a perspective that everything that you read in the Torah happened and takes you that everything in the Torah is happening. It takes you from the Torah happened to happening in you right now. That's what Chassidus is. It's very beautiful. Very, very beautiful. The Torah is not happened. It obviously also happened, but it's happening. So what do the sages in every generation, what do we look at? What do the rabbis look at? What is the Torah teaching me? So King David looked into the Torah, and he understood that there was 100 people that was dying every day. And he said, there's something going on with this verse. Ma Hashem Aleichem Shalom imach. What is Hashem asking from you? What is Hashem asking from you? And he said, what is Hashem asking from you? So he said, don't read it, ma. Don't read it, what is Hashem asking from you? Read it, meya. 100. The same word, just add a letter. Not what is Hashem asking from you? Read it, meya. 100 Hashem is asking from you. 100 what? 100 brachas a day. There's 100 people dying a day. There's something wrong with the way that we're making blessings. There's something wrong with the way that we're connecting to the appreciation of the blessings that Hashem is giving us. And when you don't do that, God forbid, Hashem starts removing blessing. That's called a plague. Is a removal of blessing. So David HaMelech said, we need to make sure that we're making 100 blessings a day. Don't read it what? Read it 100. So the tzaddikim say, you're right, what does Hashem ask from you? Ma, gematria, 45. Get ready for Rosh Hashanah, 45 days before Rosh Hashanah. It's Tu B'Av. But you know, sometimes when there's plagues, you need to read it, don't read it what? Read it 100 is Hashem asking from you. 100 days before Rosh Hashanah is Hashem asking from you. That's tonight. That's Chav Sivan. That is the time to plug into the powers of Rosh Hashanah to have a really good year. The new formation of the new DNA that's going to be for the year. And Rosh Hashanah is just there to link you to Yom Kippur. So the Apter Rebbe, we have to say it over, the Apter Rebbe said an amazing thing. I'm mentioning a Chassidish point that he pulled down from the higher universes, and I'm sharing it now with you. So the Apter Rebbe said, you know, in the narrative, remember the Torah is not that it only happened, it's happening. The narrative of the battle with Amalek, the fight with the evil people of Amalek. So the Torah says, Ki yad al keis ka, milcham al Hashem ba'amalek midor dor. That yad al keis ka, that God's case, God's kiseh, God's chair, and his name are not complete while Amalek still runs around the world, while there's very evil energy in the world. God is being concealed. Case should be kiseh, but case means concealed. Keseh. Ka is only Yud and a Hey. What about Yud and a Hey and a Vav and a Hey? Amalek conceals God's throne in the world. That's why people run around. Oh, who's this God? Like Pharaoh did. Who's this God that I should listen to? And his name, which is the deepest, intimate relationship with God, Yud and a Hey and a Vav and a Hey, existence itself is also concealed. It remains up there, a Yud and a Hey. It's all concealed. So the Apter Rebbe said, you know, these letters, Kes and Ka, are hinting to something. What's the letters Chaf and a Samech hinting to? Chaf, Sivan. Chaf is Gematria 20, tonight. Samech is the first letters of Sivan. Chaf, Sivan. Kes. Ka, a Yud and a Hey, is Yom HaKippurim. That on Chaf, Sivan, Kes, Ka, you get ready for Yud and a Hey, which is Yom HaKippurim. That tonight is already the beginning of this preparation of getting ready for these amazing days that are coming. And this is the opportunity for a person to really start the soul searching of what is that Mount Sinai vision that I had? What is the experience that I had on Shavuos of receiving the Torah anew, where I really see who I'm supposed to be this upcoming year? That's why I make tonight and tomorrow very, very holy. And it's very, very powerful when it goes in Leil Shishi, which is your side itself, is the connection point between the days of the week and Shabbos Kodesh. When the Chav Sivan goes into Shabbos, it means a very, very powerful energy to do this, is to think, what is the Mount Sinai vision of me? Of the person that I want to be as I'm getting ready to create the new DNA for the following year. You have 100 days tonight. Ma Hashem, what is Hashem asking? 100. To already get ready 100 days before Rosh Hashanah for the person that you're going to be. So we should mamish be zeiche. We should have the merit to know that on Shavuos we received an amazing vision of really who we are. We got the Torah, every single one of us, and the Torah reveals who you are, but now you want to live that person. So zone into that person now over these next 100 days, because you're going to see, I'm just already telling you, so many distractions over the next couple weeks. One of the ways that you notice that is the parshias. These next few parshias are wild. Everything is going crazy in the parshias. The Meraglim, Korach, there's crazy stuff. Pinchas. It gets a bit crazy in these parshias. There's a lot of complaining. It's a lot of machloikis. Also, it's the summertime. Heat makes people a bit crazy. You're going to see more intense stuff over the next few weeks than the whole year combined. You're going to see more people trying to pull you to every single business opportunity. You should come to this place, and this camp. A million different things are going to be put on your plate and offered to you. And all you need to do during this time is stay true to your Mount Sinai vision. Because also that the energy is so strong, it means that if I stay true to that vision, you could lock in to the project now more than the whole year combined as well. Either the energy is going to be so powerful and scatter you in a million directions. Or if you say, you have the locus of focus on that Mount Sinai vision, you could zone into that person in a major, major way. So choose wisely. Zone into that Mount Sinai vision of yourself during this time. What is God asking? 100? Right now, 100 days before Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur is the time that you can push away Amalek. You could zone in on that vision of who you are and get ready to create the new DNA of that perfected being that's inside of you. We should be zoning to this mamish, to a good gebencht yor, a wonderful Rosh Hashanah, a wonderful experience for every single one of us being that Mount Sinai vision, and we should see all of humanity with great, great simcha, celebrating the beauty of God's oneness, all of us together, with the return to Tzion, Meshir Tzidkeinu, and the Bin Beis HaMikdash, Beis Tifarteinu, B'mehera v'yameinu, Amen. Amen. Kol Tov, Rabbi Isai. Shkoyach, a good Shabbos. Kol Tov.